this is Lori with Rock & Co Crafts. I want to thank you for joining me. In today's video, I am going to try to pour some mold sets that are actually made for candy making and for baking. I believe for baking. Don't hold me to that. It may be all candy. I can't remember now. This heart mold set, I guess you would call it a set. I actually purchased this from Michael's. And it was back in the section, both of these were in the section where like the melted chocolate and candies. But these are big, pretty hearts. And these are cute little teddy bears. There's the bow tie, the little ribbon on top, and then a bow tie. And there's several of them. There's 12 of them. And according to the instructions, and unfortunately, or the directions, I threw those away. But both of these molds can withstand quite a high temperature, like 400 and some odd degrees Fahrenheit. So what I want to do today is I want to do a few of the, like 2 of the girl bears and 2 of the boy bears. And then I want to use them in the hearts, as well as some other items I have ready in the hearts, to see if I can't make some Christmas ornaments. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to just set this aside because I can't pour this yet. I need to go ahead and take care of the bears first. And I want to start with, as you can see, there's, or I hope you can see, the light kind of gets in the way, but there's little eyes, little bow tie, little eyes, and a ribbon. So the first thing I want to do is I want to see if I can use some of the Let's Resin UV black for the eyes. So I have my little container out here because the eyes are small. I want to try to use my dotting tool, and I just have a little bit in there. I'm going to do, I think, 2 of the little girl teddy bears and 2 of the little boys. I'm going to see if I can't get the UV down in the eye sockets without making a big mess. And that's just using the metal end of the dotting tool. Let me go ahead and see if I can't do that. And then on the bow ties, and the ribbons, I want to brush that in. I also think that I may want to brush the bears themselves. 2 of them. 2 of them I think I'm going to pour, and 2 I want to brush, I think. Let me go ahead and get this in there. And this seems to be working quite well this way. A little bit more. I'm going to just quickly shine my flashlight in there just to make sure that there's no hidden bubbles. And I don't see any. And then I am going to put the little UV lamp on it and let it cure. Now on one of the boys and one of the girls, I actually wrote notes because I kept confusing myself. I want to do just white with some glitter. And that's some of that really pretty glitter that I like. And it was from Michael's, it's an extra fine glitter called Glitz Brilliant. And I'm going to mix that with the white mica for one of the boys and one of the girl teddy bears. And then on the other 2, I think, now on the white ones, I'm going to brush in the red metallic chrome powder for the bow tie and the ribbon. And on the other 2, I want to use the green metallic powder on the bow tie and the ribbon. And then I want to brush in, this is the holographic pink. I want to brush that in. And then I think I'm going to brush in the blue. I think that's what I'm going to do. I really got myself so confused going through all the stuff that I want to use. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Now, these bears, I did measure them and with water, and they take 10 milliliters. And the hearts I measured, and they take 100 milliliters. And if I can get these, oh, excuse me, if I can get these to work out right, I actually want to make ornaments. You put some hardware on and some ribbon and make ornaments with them. So let's see. There's the red and green. Those are the bow tie colors. And I will have to go back in, I know, with an alcohol wipe to clean up around the bow ties, because I don't know how nice and neat I'll get it in there. Let me let that set for one more round, and then we'll get the party started. Have a dry alcohol wipe and a wet one, because I'm sure I'll need both. Let me go ahead and get my tool and give these eyes a check as soon as this light goes out. And I want to do red. I am really thinking that, let me get, do I want to brush them all? I don't know. Let me give this a check. Ooh, these are up here are not, they're not cured. Let me cure those a little bit longer. These do feel cured. So I am going to go ahead and just work on one of the bow ties. And this is with the red. And I'm going to leave that red on my brush because I am going to need to use it on a hair bow. Let me see if I can carefully get my tool in there and clean the excess powder up carefully. And I may not get it all up, but I'll sure try. I'm thinking about actually brushing with silver, because the silver is the holographic, just like the pink. And that may just give some extra pop to the bears. I think that's what I'm going to do versus using the white mica. And then I'll backfill with clear. Okay, let me give these a check now. Yes, that's much better. So let me go ahead and see if and once I'm done brushing, I'll give you a peek see down here, or I'll pick it up for you to see. And just a little teensy tiny bit more red. I love this powder. Now this is the holographic. I did recently purchase the other metallic powders. I haven't tested those yet. I haven't tried those on anything yet. But just looking through the colors, these were the colors that I really, and I looked through both packets. These were the colors I wanted to use. Okay. And I will give them a good thump after I'm done putting the powders in. Let me close the red, put that aside, get my dry cloth, and go ahead and do the green, and then I'll brush the bodies. Just make sure my brush is good and clean. This is the smallest brush I have. I need to really invest in a smaller brush, but I'll just make do for now. I'm going to go ahead and brush it in, and then I will come back and try to clean up my mess, because I sure do make one. Now let me get my tool out again and see if I can clean up my extra powder. These are just tiny little molds, but I think they're so cute. I think, if these work, which I mean they should, simply because they can withstand a lot of heat. But if they work in the ornaments, like these little teddy bears would make a nice, baby's first Christmas type ornament. And I have this green just all over in there. I'm going to see if I can't carefully use my finger and get it out of the little teddy bear's nose. But I think that, yeah, it would make just a super cute baby's first Christmas ornament. But I mean, these were sold in the candy, like the chocolate candy making aisles. And this one was from Walmart. I don't know if I said that earlier or not. The other one was from Michael's. But I've also noticed that they have the silicone soap making molds. Now, I don't know if those would work or not. I didn't pick one up because nothing just really caught my attention like these two did. Almost got it here. I just have a bit over. I'm going to show you right now what I have so far, simply because I am going to just put the rest of the powder, brush it on, and it may cover that. And for that, I am going to use the brush that came with the powders. I have pink, I have light blue, and let me get some silver out, because I think I want to do the metallic silver. I just think that if the metallic silver and the metallic, or not metallic, excuse me, they're all metallic, the holographic would just be real pretty. Okay, pink, I want to use the pink on the green bow and the blue on the green bow. And I think I'm going to do the ones with the red bows, I'm going to do in silver. I'm going to pick this up so I can see the sides, and maybe you can see in there better, I hope. And then I will give them a good thump. I just want to make sure I have all the sides all the way up, and I will backfill with clear. And I am trying to be extra careful around the little eyes. I don't want to knock those loose. Okay, that one I want silver, and this one I want silver. Christmas is my favorite time of year. Okay, let me just kind of look in the sides here. And I'll give it a thump and give you another peek in there. Let me close the silver, move it out of the way. Then I want to brush a pink and a blue. pink is also the holographic. It's so pretty. These powders, I love them. I need to test the other ones, but I imagine they're going to be, even though they're different colors, they're going to be probably just as pretty as these are. These are just so shiny and so pretty. Definitely my favorite. Okay, it looks like I've got that up all the sides. And let me put that lid on, and I'll do the light blue in this little teddy bear. Before I do, it looks like I sprinkled some powder in there, working on the other one. So let me see if I can get that extra powder out. And we'll do the blue. Make sure my brush is clean. Oh, these are so pretty. Just want to make sure I have it all the way up the little sides. Okay, let me get that out of the way and clean my brush again. Let me brush this a little bit more. I'm going to give it a thump. And right now that's what we have. Ideally, the ribbon and everything, the bow ties and the ribbons will show up because I brushed those first. So I'm going to clean this mess up and mix up 40 milliliters of resin for the 4 bears. And then I will meet you back here when I'm ready to do the pour. See you in a minute. I went ahead and mixed 60 just in case. It seems like my water measurements are always off. I want to see if I can get these to where you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Let me move this out of the way again. And I'm just going to back it with clear. Let me get my stick all nice and clean. And then I'm going to see if I can give these a good thump. I don't want to overfill. I think these, if these turn out, I just think they're cute. So hopefully they turn out as cute as I think they are. Let me check and see if I think I may have room. It looks like I do have some room, but I just want to check. It's hard to tell when you're pouring with clear. I have a little room there. And I have a little bit of room there, a little bit of room there, and a little bit of room there. So I still have just a little, just a little. I do want to dome them if possible. That way there's no sharp edges. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, maybe a little tiny bit more in here. Just a little. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these cure. And then when I hop back on here, we'll unmold them, put them as well as some other stuff that I have ready. into the hearts and do that pour and see if we can't make some really cute, unique Christmas ornaments. So I will see you shortly. Well, you might notice that I have a couple of extra here because I had the extra resin left over. I actually measured it correctly this time. I went ahead and mixed some of the white mica with the glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and unmold these first and see. Oh, it came out. That's good. Just get them all out of the mold and then we'll look at them. Now on the two white ones, I just use the container with the black UV and just drop some in there in the eye sockets just to see if it's going to be any different than using the little tool. But they came out pretty good. They came out of the mold. That's a good start. All right, let's start with the white ones. Oh, the little ribbon on this one is a little smudge, the red. Oh, but it looks cute with just dropping it in. I thought they may be too big. Oh, that one's I like the one with the little bow tie. Unfortunately, the powder on this one kind of got everywhere. All right, let's look at the two silver ones. Again, I got a little powder elsewhere, but I love the holographic. I just love the holographic. And the eyes on those, that's not bad either. So I have more control using the tool versus just dropping it in there. And let's look at these. Oh, look how cute. That one is so pretty with the blue. Those are so pretty. I love them. Let me see if I can get the light to work on this one. This is the holographic, but it's not working very well. What I want to do, let me set these to the side a little bit and pull the hearts out. Now, in one of the hearts, I'm going to just do 4. In one of the hearts, I have these peppermint candies, and they've already been treated in resin. I did these way back when I did the video going down the resin rabbit trail, and I ended up having too many mints in the coaster, so I pulled some out. I do know that when they're not coated, they do float. I don't know how they're going to react coated, but I'm only going to put like 30 milliliters in each, approximately 30 in each, before I ever put anything in it. And then I've got to decide which two. I think I want to do two of the bears. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do, well, darn. I like this one. Maybe I'll do the white one and the silver one and maybe back it with like blue. That may look really pretty. Yeah, I think those are the two I'm going to put in to 2 different hearts. And then I have a cross that I want to put into one. So that'll be 4 hearts. And I haven't quite decided yet. Let me see if I can pull these up. I just like printed off like dates, and I have put tape on them to protect them so that I can use them in resin. I'm thinking, like if you were doing a baby's first Christmas, you might want to put the date. And I also printed off, and let me see if I can pick it up. These are so tiny. And put tape over it to protect it. Just the John 3:16 for the cross to represent, the greatest gift ever given. And that cross is just pretty. And that's just the white mica with some glitter in it. The first thing I want to do here is I want to add some glitter. And I just want a tad bit. Just enough to add a little sparkle. And once I get the objects in and and everything. I do want to back them with some different color, probably with blue. I don't know why I'm thinking just red and blue and white. I love those as Christmas colors. But I just put just a little bit of glitter in there. And now I'm going to try really hard. Number one, let me move the stuff. And then I'm going to try really hard to get approximately the same amount in each one. Approximately 30 milliliters. And I'm just going to try to eyeball it, because I just need something down there that can start to cure so that I can put the objects in there. One's going to be kind of upside down. Just add some more to this one. I'm just trying to get them as even as possible. And let me scrape the cup into this one. They look kind of even to me. Let me set that aside. Now, I do want to put the candies in now. I do want to put the candies in, and then I'm going to actually let these set for about 2, possibly 3 hours before I put like the other stuff in them. Let me see if I can get those candies to where the flat edges are up top. Just kind of like that. And there should be no problem with doming it when it's time. I'm going to go ahead and let these set for 2 to 3 hours. I will check them. And then when we come back, I'll put the little items in and pour some more resin. Oh, I have one more candy over here. Let me see if I can get this to fit in there. There we go. Okay, well, I will meet you back here when we're ready to put the items in and pour some more resin. See you shortly. What I did at the 2-hour mark is I went ahead and put the little labels in. And if you'll notice, I've labeled here because all of the labels, let me bring you down here. They're just white in the back. And without me writing something, I wouldn't know what's what. But by bringing you down here, you can see all the pretty glitter. Let me sit you back down with hopefully not making you dizzy. I mixed 200 milliliters of resin, and I've added a little bit of glitter to it. I just love this glitter. So let me clean my stick off here, and I'm going to add a little bit of resin to each of these. I want to save room for doming, for a backing. And I'm getting ready to put some stuff in them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes I get so heavy-handed. Add some more to this. And then I need to put a little bit more in this. Grab my stick, and I'm sorry I will put my hand in your way just to get the rest of this out. I didn't pour them completely evenly, but close. All right, let me set that aside. So this is what I've decided. I do have this is the silver little boy teddy bear with the red bow tie. And I think I'm going to back this one with blue. I decided on the pink teddy bear with the bow tie. I haven't decided on the backing for this one. And then the white cross, and I think I'm going to back this one in blue. But before I do anything else, let me give them a little alcohol spritz to get rid of any surface bubbles. And we'll get started. Let me grab my little tool here. Now I went ahead and I wanted to go ahead and put the labels in so that they're a little bit in front of the items. I just want to make sure it's centered. And tap it for bubbles. I still don't know what color background I want to use on the little girl teddy bear. I may just leave this one clear with the candy because for whatever reason, I like the way that that looks. Let's go ahead and get the cross in. I just want to try to give them good taps in case there's bubbles that I don't see. I do know that the cross and this silver teddy bear, I do want the blue backing. I may just use white on this one. I may use white. I don't know about this one. This one I may keep clear. I really like the way that that looks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bubble sit, of course. And I am going to wait about 2 to 3 hours. And then I'll come back in and put the domes on. So I will see you then. See you shortly. Before I pour the resin on, I just want to point out a couple of things. Like on this heart with the candy, I don't know if how well you can see it, but there's some over pour here, and yet here it's not even at the top. Now I did put the level on the table. The table's level, and I'm noticing this is trying to do the same thing only backwards to where it's too full here and not quite full enough there, or I'm going to not say too full, fuller here than here. So I don't know if it's just the molds because again, these are made for candy and baking, not for resin. I also wanted to point out, as you can see on this label down here, some of the red is coming through the back, which is a strong indication that I didn't get it coated well enough or covered well enough with the tape. I hope the date still shows through on the other side, but we won't know until we unmold them. And I have decided to use just back all of these with blue. And this is just a pretty blue mica. And I did add some of the Glitz Brilliant glitter. I just love this stuff. So let's go ahead. I mixed 80 milliliters. It may be too much. I just hope at the very least that it's enough. I'm going to just start by pouring a little bit here because, again, this side is fuller than the back, than the bottom of the heart. This one has plenty of room in it. And let me pour some here. I'm going to give this an opportunity to start spreading a little bit. It looks like this one will hold a little more. I just don't want to have to deal with over pour like I'm going to have to on that one. Originally, I was going to add more clear to it with the glitter, but it's already, I already have some trimming to do here, so I'm not going to do that. Okay. Just about have them domed. Now, as far as the bears, I love that little mold. It worked great. We'll find out on the hearts. Well, it's that time. I'm just going to let them cure, and then I will meet you back here for the unmolding. And hopefully, if they worked out well, we can add a little bit of hardware and make some ornaments out of them. I'll see you shortly. Okay, it's time to do the unmolding. I'm going to start with this one. I know that there's overpour, which are big, thick hearts. That really is pretty, minus the overpour, but I'll take an X-Acto knife to this little part right here and get rid of the overpour. But I think that that is just really a pretty little heart with the candies. Very, very Christmassy. Okay, let's start. I think this is the cross. Yeah, unfortunately, I did not get my little papers treated well enough. You can see some resin got in there. But that is just really pretty. I love the white with the blue. I may have overwhelmed it a little bit with the glitter on this one. Still very pretty. Let's get this one out. Oh, that's cute. You can see the 2025, but again, you can see where a little bit of the resin seeped into that. But that is just so cute. Little too heavy-handed on the glitter, but still very pretty. Got a little bit of overpour on that one. And let's pull this one out. Oh, that is pretty. Again, a little, I did not get my little tags treated well enough. I love the silver and the blue. I think that is so cute. So let me move. Now on these molds, I loved, absolutely, this one worked great. The little one did. And I mean, I only paid like $3 and some change for it. This one, I mean, it's cute. I like the end results. But this, the way this heart poured, and I know the table's level, I'm not too sure how I feel about the bigger ones, but I will start going back to like the candy making and baking areas to see if I see any molds that strike my fancy. Now, I think I mentioned earlier, like the soap molds. I've never tried those. If you've tried those to use with resin, let me know in the comments below. Did they work? I do want to kind of make some sort of, it's going to be a heavy duty ornament. So let me, I would love to do it with this one, but there's some severe or serious trimming that I need to do. So I'm going to set that aside. Let me move this table out of the way and decide which one. I think I'm going to use this one. I'm going to try to make just one ornament, see how it works. This is pretty heavy. And to do that, I will be using, this is the Let's Resin electric drill. I love this thing because it's easy to handle. You can hold it. I mean, just a regular drill, you know, you're doing it like that. But I have so much more control over this one, and it doesn't like go 100 miles an hour. So I really like this. Let me see if we can scoot you down some. And it has a push button. I have it plugged in right now to USB, but you can use a converter and plug it in. So let me go ahead and get this turned on and see if we can't get a hole drilled in this. And I do want to kind of make it central. hopefully. And if you're interested, if you want to know about some of the stuff on this drill, I did do an opening and testing of this drill, and I will put the link to that video in the description box below. I just want to get this drilled in there enough that I can put an eye hook in it. I hope that's not too loud. I mean, it's not loud to me, but it may be to you. And I'm moving it up and down so as not to crack the resin as I'm drilling. I think that may be deep enough. We're getting ready to find out. So I do have a little eye hook here that I'm going to try real hard. I hope I didn't drill the hole too deep. I'm going to try real hard to get this eye hook in there. And there's several different drill bits that come with it. I tried to get the one that matched the eye hook the best, the size of the eye hook. And I may have actually, I did get that in there a little too deep. I mean, yeah, too deep. So let me use some glue. I'm just going to get some of this. This is just the E6000. See if I can't get a little bit of it on the tip of this, and I'll stick it in and let it dry. It'll have to dry before I can put a ribbon on it. But I will show you what I have done. Now once this dries, I want to put some ribbon on it. Let me grab this. Let's put some pretty Christmassy ribbon on it and make it an ornament. Now, because I drilled that too deep, and I know this video is getting very long. Here's a couple of the bears that I had poured, and I went ahead and put the eye hooks in them and some ribbon. These are little, but they would be cute on a smaller tree, or like if, when you wrap a package, put them on the package. I like them. I think they turned out really good. This is definitely, other than the label, I really did not coat that label very well. But I love the way these turned out too. Let me move this. And yeah, the drill, here, I will just show you. Here's another one. Let me get that drill going and see if I can't drill it without going too deep. And again, the recommendation when you're drilling with this is to using it on resin to go up and down so as not to crack your piece. I'm going to see if I can't get this hole drilled without getting it too deep. I should actually put a piece of tape on there to know where I want to stop. These little eye hooks are tiny. A little bit more. And generally speaking, yes, when you do this, you do want to wear a mask or take it outside or both. Let me see if I got that. I hope I didn't put the wrong drill bit on there. Now let me see if I can use my pliers and get that on there. And it is definitely easier if, I mean, you can drill through a piece that's cured for a long time, but it's easier if it's not totally and completely cured all the way. Kind of like when you trim them. And if you're interested in any of the products I use, I will put a link in the description box below to some of those. And then just get your piece of ribbon. I fold it in half like this. Oops, I already have one on there. And what I want to do is I actually have to, for this particular piece of ribbon, I have to twist it to get it through the eye hook. And if you stuck with me on this video for this long, I want to say thank you. I know it's a long video. Okay, I have that through. Let me get that ribbon open and just bring this through there, through that opening. Tighten it up. Put a little tie on top. And it's a little Christmas ornament. What I did was I went ahead and trimmed the excess off of this one because I really wanted to make it an ornament, simply because it's got the Christmas candy in it. But I think these turned out really well. I'm extremely pleased with the smaller molds. I love the hearts. I'm just concerned, like with this one, how it did not pour evenly. But you can bet that I'm going to start looking in like the bakery area, the candy making area, just to see what they have, because it's nice to have little tiny molds. And the fact that the mold, this little orange mold, was only like $3 and some change. I don't remember how much the heart mold was on. I know it was on sale. But these are the end results. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to thank you for watching and ask you to consider hitting the like, share, and if you haven't already, the subscribe buttons. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks.